All right, buckle up, comic fans, because we're diving straight into the action. We're thrown right into a chaotic brawl, mid-air between a couple of mighty clawed combatants. Laura Kinney, also known as X-23, is a whirlwind of black hair and fierce determination, her face contorted with effort as she unleashes those signature metallic claws. She's locked in a close-quarters battle with another Wolverine, this one a blonde beast, his face twisted into a snarl with blood trickling from his head, bearing razor-sharp teeth and claws that look just as deadly as hers. The two are locked in a brutal dance of claws and rage amidst a flurry of floating rocks, all this set against a pale bluish sky that only heightens the tension. It's an all-out, no-holds-barred showdown between two of the fiercest fighters in the Marvel Universe, and you can feel the raw power with every strike and snarl. All right, we've changed locations from that intense fight. Now we're in Finland, and things have taken a decidedly chilly turn. We're shown a team falling through the air, and Laura is amongst them. They're descending towards a snowy mountain range, the sky a crisp, pale blue. It's a striking visual, with the characters almost like dark silhouettes against the bright background. The camera is high above showing the whole crew, but we get an insert panel focusing on Laura's face, her dark hair flowing in the wind where she asks, "Do we have a plan?" Then another panel shows Mr. Sinister's head, or what I'm assuming is Mr. Sinister's head, looming above them all, and a text bubble tells us that we don't know what Mr. Sinister's got waiting for us, Deathstrike. Our one advantage is surprise. And then we get a final panel that zooms in on a helmeted character, his face covered in scratches and dried blood, saying, "Neuro's right." We'll take stock and figure out our next move once we hit the... This is quite the dramatic way to enter a new scene, building up tension and getting our heroes ready for what might be lurking down below. Well, the freefall has stopped, and things have taken a turn for the peculiar. We see the team suspended mid-air, some in odd poses, the bright white background highlighting them. A masked character asks, "Why have we stopped falling?" Then the scene shifts to the right side, where a hooded figure with a pallid face and piercing eyes welcomes them with, "Hello, welcome all of you, my name is Starkey Gripes. I serve Mr. Sinister, which you have probably guessed by this point. He sent me to greet you and to explain a few things." Another panel shows the same figure, now with a more close-up view where he announces, "First, allow me to reveal my master's home. The Fortress Sinister." Underneath this, a view of a red brick building built into a mountain, and in a final panel another character with blue skin and dark hair in a close-up says, "We know that is why we are here. Let us down whatever you are, or you will regret it." Down Mystique. Talk about a cliffhanger. Looks like our heroes aren't just falling from the sky, they're falling into a carefully laid trap. Okay, the plot thickens. We're treated to a dramatic panel showing a vast, mountainous landscape with a large pool of lava that has just appeared right underneath our heroes. A text bubble says, "Are you sure that's what you want? Note the immense pool of lava that has just appeared below you. Really, let's just take a moment and chat. My master would like you all to join him as his guests in his fortress." The camera zooms in on Starkey Gripes, who says, "But of course, some of you he does not yet know. Phantomel, isn't it? And Culpepper." The camera zooms in on the various faces, then another panel shows a dog-like creature, and we hear a thought bubble that says, "This is bad, L, no score is worth this." Then another character says, "We can still make it work, Pep, don't be scared. We're going after the Wolverine. Acceptable risk, buddy." Then Gripes says, "Some of you he already knows, of course. Hello there, Yuriko. A pleasure to see you. Sinister does not know me. No one knows me. I will tear you and your master apart. Delightful." Then a text box at the bottom states, "My Lord Sinister just wishes to learn more about you. He is a scientist after all. He is always searching for new, material." We get a shot of an open doorway, and the text box continues, "The doors of his fortress are open to you. You are free to go wherever you wish inside." Finally, we get a shot of Laura saying, "And if we say no," and Gripes with the final line, "Well, that's what the lava's for, X-23, leaving us with a cliffhanger that is definitely feeling the heat. All right, the standoff is over, and our heroes are not going down without a fight. The first panel shows the team standing in the snowy mountains, Gripes saying, "Off you go then." A character with long black hair is saying, "No, no, can't you see? This is crazy, we can't." Another is saying, "I won't." The next panel shows a blonde character in a white and black suit flying in the air while a text bubble over her says, "Endo, stop, girl." He won't let you. A panel with text saying, "Tusk, tusk." And then we see her in the air, a huge black spot behind her, looking like she has been blasted away, saying, "Nuu." The next panel shows a red rectangle in the middle of a white background with a hand pressing a button saying, "Click." And the final panel, we see the team again and a close-up of one character that is yelling, "Endo, holy." It's an all-out brawl, with our heroes not only battling their captors, but seemingly their own internal struggles too. It's clear they are not going to be taken quietly, and that explosion is really not painting a great picture for their escape. The action is escalating quickly. We open with a close-up panel showing the helmeted character from the last page, looking directly at a blue-skinned character with a hooded cloak and demanding, "What did you do to her?" The blue-skinned character replies, "No one leaves, I'm afraid. The only way out is in," followed by an ominous HHN. Then we're thrown into a second panel, a burst of bright orange with the sound effect S, where we see the helmeted character slashing a figure with a sword, dark splatters indicating the violence of the attack. Then in the third panel, with a light blue background, we see the helmeted character, now with a bloodied sword, saying, "Not for you," a red box above him stating, "Very nice." The final panel shows the same character, standing in the snow with the other team members, with the helmeted character saying, "Excuse me, folks." It's all out chaos and betrayal, and it looks like we've got a few new teams forming, and not necessarily for the better. Okay, things are getting really weird. We're seeing multiples of the blue-skinned character, apparently named Gripes, walking through the snow. One says, "Name's Parky Gripes." Don't be surprised, the master's really quite fond of clones. Another says, "Barky Gripes here," sort of a recurring motif, if you will. And then we get another one, "Harky Gripes, do head on in, won't you?" And then another Gripes exclaims, "Zarky, I think I did rather well with that one." And finally, a different Gripes, "Glarky, drew the short stick, and Starky was my best friend, you monsters." We shift to a panel on the bottom left where we see the helmeted character talking to another character saying, "Come on, we're just going to go in." When Sinister knows we're coming, the helmeted character says, "This is suicide, Shargan." Then we jump to another character who is saying, "Does it look like we've got a choice, kid? Don't worry, I'll protect you." Another replies, "NNF, no thanks, Creed, I'm just hoping they get you first." Then another, "Real nice, Laura." And a final text bubble in that panel states, "No, Sinister has Wolverine's body. We need it. This is progress." We end on an exterior shot of a line of the Gripes clones walking up a snowy hill, making their way towards the fortress. Looks like our heroes are stuck between a whole lot of clones and very little choice. Okay, we're inside the fortress, and things have taken a decidedly creepy turn. The first panel shows a large, translucent blue form of Mr. Sinister, addressing everyone. He says, "I am Mr. Sinister. Your goal here is to remain interesting enough for me to keep you alive. Many of my experiments need field tests against unpredictable opponents. Defeat them, and perhaps I will let you live while I study your capabilities. Or you can all die in entertaining ways, after which I'll use your corpses to create wonderful new things." Either way, a perfectly acceptable outcome. We are shown a group of people at the bottom, all looking up at Mr. Sinister. The camera zooms in on Mr. Sinister as he says, "So get to it." We are shown a close-up of Mr. Sinister, looking extremely sinister, with a toothy grin. The final panel shows the red helmeted character talking to a blue-skinned character, saying, "All right, we're here because of you, Shargan." "What N?" And the blue-skinned character replies, "Ha! It is quite the ominous welcome to the fortress, and our heroes are not looking like they are ready to go down without a fight, and now we are truly in the thick of it." The first panel shows our heroes being restrained by long, purple tentacles, the text bubble over the action saying, "Cracksh," one character yells, "What the?" And another, "Sinister's trying to separate us." And a final one says, an NGH, seems to be working. We shift to a panel where a character with dark hair and glasses is suspended in the air, wrapped by these tentacles and saying, "Whoa, whoa, that was, I do not like this at all." The scene changes, showing a character upside down and a black wolf beside her. A text bubble over the upside-down character reads, "I told you." The wolf asks, "Can we please leave now, Elle?" The other character replies, "No way, Pep. Did you see Sinister? That speech was the most supervillain thing I've ever seen in my life." A little thought bubble says, "You've been alive for about 6 months." The first character continues with, "The point stands. Imagine what a guy like that might have lying around, and how much we could sell it for. Don't you want to see?" The wolf replies, Yes, I do." And we end with the same scene of chaos as at the beginning of the page, with our heroes being attacked by these tentacles. Looks like our heroes are in for a wild ride, and it's not clear what their next step will be. All right, things are getting tense and strategic. The first panel shows some of our heroes being attacked by the purple tentacles again, with one of them saying, "It's occurring to me that we may be very much out of our league." Another panel shows the helmeted character with another saying, "Don't seem fair. We just show up and this Sinister tries to kill us. Didn't he steal it first?" Another says, "He knows we're trying to steal the Wolverine statue. I think the nuance is lost on him. Don't worry, I'll get us through this, Skell." The camera shifts to the right with a character saying, "Why am I even here, Shargan? I don't fight, I think." "You're the one who knew where to find Sinister's fortress, Neuro. We're here because of you. Endo probably died because of you." In a third panel, a character in a dark mask is saying, "Let me remind you, this is not an adventure. This is not a comical mishap. Unless we somehow get Wolverine's corpse away from Sinister and find our way out of here, we'll all be dead by this time next year. So use that brain of yours and think us away." The final panel shows a door being broken down with the sound effect, CRRKRRK, and in the final panel a character says, "Out." And another character looking distressed says, "That ain't good. That is no damn good." Talk about a tense moment. It looks like everyone has different agendas and that the group will be fighting more than just Sinister. The tension is palpable. The first panel shows the Mr. Sinister floating in a translucent form as he speaks to our heroes. He says, "You are a fool, Creed. We should have killed Shargan and his people when we had the chance. Listen, Deathstrike, this is a big damn mess, but I'm just trying not to kill people so much these days. You expect us to believe that? I have known you to murder people for sneezing. I've been trying to explain this, but no one will listen. Something changed for me in Genosha a little while back. I'm not," he is interrupted by another character who simply says, "Hey." Mr. Sinister says, "Remember, he said we'd stay alive only as long as we stayed interesting." We then shift to a second panel which shows a group of our heroes with a blue-skinned character saying, "Your stupid argument could not be more boring. Good, bad, who cares?" Another of our heroes is confused and says, guys, look." And a final panel shows the last group of our heroes with a character in a red hoodie saying, "Hey, you folks stuck here too." It looks like everyone is regrouping and reevaluating the current situation. The alliance between Sinister and the heroes looks like it will be short-lived. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we've got a monstrous new development. The first panel shows a huge, green, scaly creature with red eyes roaring, a text bubble saying, "Grata." Another text bubble says, "What the hell is that thing?" In a red box, another says, "You have any idea, Argon?" And a final one says, "No, Sinister's Ard could be anything or any combination of things." The camera pans to the right and shows some of our heroes looking on in shock. Another panel zooms in on the face of the green creature and says, "Guess again, mortals, for I am not Fin Fang Foom, but hey, can you open your mouth? We talked about this." Another panel shows a close-up of a gaping mouth, teeth bared, and a final panel shows a hammer coming down on the creature with the sound effect, crack, and a text bubble saying, "Fin Fang Boom." Just when we thought things were weird enough, a massive creature enters the scene. This fight is shaping up to be something special. The weirdness is off the charts. We jump to a new scene, and in the first panel, some of our heroes are talking. One says, I've got some friends this way. Well, maybe not friends exactly, but you'll see. Another says, maybe we can find a way out. A final one states, I've heard of you, haven't you? Not the regular Spider-Man. The scene shifts to a room full of the character Scarlet Spider. A character that is front and center without his mask on replies, No, it's complicated. They call me the Scarlet Spider. I'm sort of a clone, but I've been trying to go my own way. The others are in here. Anyway, my real name. Another panel shows a hand from off panel and then shows all of the Scarlet Spider clones. One of them says, We've been over this, guys, you're clones. I'm Ben. One of the clones says, Whatever, man, I'm Ben Riley. Another one responds, You wish. A final Scarlet Spider clone says, I'm Spider-Man, I think. Well, it looks like Sinister isn't the only one who is fond of clones, and it also looks like they might be a bit confused about their identities. This is definitely an odd development, and I'm interested to see what happens with them next. Okay, things are getting violent, and the puzzle pieces are starting to fall into place. The page is cut into a series of panels, with a large panel in the center, featuring a woman in an orange robe. The first panel shows a white-haired character who says, Hello there, Victor Creed. Good to see you're getting on with Parky Gripes here. In case you're wondering, it can get confusing, I know. Ah, great. We then get a zoomed-in shot of him as he says, My master is very proud of this particular experiment, all these Scarlet Spider clones. He sent me to make quite certain that all of you get the joy. Then we see another white-haired character with the sound effect, SLKK, as we see a long tentacle penetrate his skull. In the top right-hand corner, a hooded character says, NNG. I'm done for, but you should know, I'm not actually Parky Gripes, I'm Marky. The camera zooms in on a woman's face and she simply says, HHN. Then, in the bottom panel, we see a panel with the long tentacle going through the torso of another character. Then another panel showing the character with the tentacle going through him, yelling with a large red blood splatter and the sound effect, SLKK. A text bubble states, She killed Marky. Another character says, Loved that guy. Another, They're monsters. Another adds, You don't think he was telling the truth? Another says, Sinister took me prisoner. He's been making clones of me. I need your help. And finally, need to teach them a lesson. You don't kill the original. Kill the original, you see. Another character adds, Here's the truth. I hate this place. And finally, and you pay the price. You know what, Laura? So the tension is off the charts. Clones, Betrayal. And now it looks like we are heading into a final showdown between the remaining heroes and Sinister and his minions. All right, the chaos is at an all-time high. This page is a flurry of panels showing the fight in full swing. First, we see a panel of a character saying, What now, boss? Another, Hit it right in the gut, and don't stop hitting it until I tell you, and then, Can do. Need to punch something anyway. Got to get the shakes. A panel shows a character hitting the green creature with the sound effect, SSSSSH. Then another panel showing the large green creature and another character with the text bubble that states NNGH and with the sound effect thwam. The next series of panels shows the red-helmeted character with a glowing sword. One text bubble above him states, Okay, you got one chance. Back off. One. Another panel shows the Norse god, Thor, saying, Thou puny mortal, I look forward to seeing how you taste. In another panel, a character is falling, saying, Oh no, this is not goo, and then a final panel shows the green creature being hit with something with the sound effect, SHK and thwad. This is a full-out brawl, with everybody joining in, and it looks like our heroes are working together to try and bring down the enormous green beast. Okay, the pieces are falling into place, but not in a good way. We open with a large panel showing the aftermath of the fight, with a green tendril piercing through the body of a character, blood spattered everywhere. A character says, Look at this thing, it's incredible. Another character responds with, Whatever you say, Neuro, we need to keep moving. And a third character says, No, listen to me. If Mr. Sinister can create something like this, we shift to a panel with a character stating, Then he can almost certainly cure us. We don't have to die. Another character replies, We're going about this backwards. We don't need the Wolverine statue at all. We then zoom in on two characters where one states, "Sinister, we'd like to make a deal. We have something to offer you." We can give you complete control over the others, Sabretooth and the rest. Another character says, "Neuro, what the hell are you doing? We can't make a deal with this guy. He's a monster." And finally, we get a view of Mr. Sinister sitting at a computer saying, "Last time I checked, Shogun, so are we." And in another speech bubble, "Interesting." It looks like our heroes are trying to negotiate their way out of this, but given the circumstances, I'm not sure if it is going to work. Okay, we are in the final stretch and it's chaos. The first panel shows a group of white-clad figures with long, purple tendrils attached to them, with one saying, "All of our guests seem appropriately occupied for the moment. Let us proceed." Then the scene shifts, showing a figure with red hair and a black mask, with a text bubble saying, "They are a girl and a dog. I'm not concerned." Then we see a character with glasses and white hair saying, "Dog, dupe, I could not possibly be more of a fox," with a nearby thought bubble that states, "Yes, Culpepper, you're a very lovely fox." Then a panel with a strange metallic-looking figure covered in wires stating, "Well, there it is, the remains of Wolverine. Possibly the most valuable artifact in the entire world, at least to Shogun, Mystique and the rest. Now, to defeat the mad scientist, find some way to lift the damn thing and sneak it past the assorted psychopaths who brought us here, or save their lives with it, depending on how we decide to go." Another character responds with, "Don't be negative, Pep. We were literally born to steal. Let's go do what we do best." Then, in the final panel, another figure in a black suit is in a chamber with a text bubble stating, "We are ready at last. I have extracted the necessary data from Dacon's tissue. It is time to begin." In almost no time at all, we will have restored Logan to life, assuming, of course, there are no further interrupt. Suddenly, a large explosion with the sound effect BAMF. It looks like we are in for an all-out brawl, as both sides are gearing up for what looks like their final move. Okay, this is it. We're down to the wire. This page shows a large panel with two characters, a character with white hair and wearing a black and yellow outfit, and a red-skinned character with a blue face, claws, a tail, and piercing yellow eyes. The first character states, "Step away, Sinister. Whatever you're trying to do with Logan's remains, it ends now." The panel shows a swirl of pink clouds around the two characters. This is the end, folks. It's all been building to this. What will be the fate of our heroes, and what will become of Logan's remains? We are on the edge of our seats to see how it all plays out. And that's a wrap for this chapter, folks. We end on a full-page image with a group of characters walking through what looks like a doorway. The blonde-haired character who was fighting alongside our heroes earlier is looking slightly crazed, and a light blue-skinned character is also shown. To the right, there is a character with blue skin and red hair, wearing a white and black outfit. She has her hands outstretched, looking like she is either trying to stop or to push something away. They are all walking through a purple smoke, with people in the background looking on with confused and concerned expressions. It's quite the way to end this chapter, with so much unknown, and it certainly got us ready for more action. What will happen next? Will our heroes get Logan's remains? It all remains to be seen, so don't go anywhere and stay tuned for more comic book action. Thanks for tuning in. Stay curious, stay awesome, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more amazing content.